Welcome to an introduction to the wood element by Malik Cotter. Take some deep breaths and embrace life as you take a look at his presentation.
Today we'll be discussing and experiencing the 5 elements. The 5 elements are part of a core philosophy in traditional Chinese medicine on how the body regenerates, recharges, discharges toxicity, builds itself, opens its spirit to a higher conscious and awareness. Each of the elements has a set of correspondences. These correspondences all interact and relate with one another, supporting each other and also controlling one another. When there's an imbalance in one organ, it's going to affect another organ also, or an element. So each element is very important. We should know in the 5-element theory that the elements are comprised of heavenly qi, or universal energy. And qi we know as the essential life force that animates all existence. So what we'll be doing today is we're going to be doing a set of exercises. I'm going to be teaching and demonstrating and doing with you an exercise for the organ of each element, for the sense organ of each element, and we'll end with the healing sound that will help generate and clear each of the organs relating to the element. So let's just get into it. The wood element is the liver, gallbladder. As we know, it's the springtime. It works with tendons and nails. It works with detoxification. It helps with the blood. The liver has over 500 major functions in Western medicine alone. In Chinese medicine, it holds a very prominent part. We relate to the wood element and the liver as the general in charge, because the general holds the vision of what's going to be taking place. The general has the overview of how things are working, and the general sees what's going on. So if you listen to the words that I'm using, overview and see and vision, they all relate to the eyes. So the sense organ for the wood liver is going to be the eyes. The visceral organ sits right below the rib cage and protected by the rib cage on the right side. And this sits right in this area here, and there's different lobes. Blood passes through it. But energy is more important because energy moves blood. And if we don't have energy, the blood doesn't move. And blood makes energy. So we have this symbiotic relationship between blood and energy. The liver is a key component for blood and energy. The liver, what we want to do in the exercise, the internal visceral organ exercise, is we want to help the liver dredge itself and drain and move out any stagnation. Stagnation is something that the liver is prone towards. So what we want to do is we want to keep the free flow of liver qi moving, so the blood moves and the blood is clean. In the internal exercise for the visceral organ liver, what we'll be doing is we'll be moving the blood and the qi from the lower right across the diaphragm and the shape and the form of the thoracic cavity and bringing it over to the left side so we can dredge this out. I'm going to demonstrate this and then we'll do them together. So the liver internal visceral organ energy exercise, Qigong exercise, is to where the hand is tight and flush on the body, and it just follows the rib cage from the lower right all the way over to the left. And it moves like such. In the internal organ exercise, we'll do this 36 times. The eye exercise, the sense organ that relates with the wood element, is the eyes, to where what we'll be doing is we'll be holding different points. This is bladder point number 1, triple point number 23, and stomach point number 1. In the sense organ exercise for the wood liver, we'll be moving the eyes in certain directions, like a figure 8. And then I'm going to show you a couple exercises for the lenses of the eyes, and then give a little understanding, hopefully, on how the eyes work. If we look at the eyes, the white of the eye, the sclera, is not really white. It is actually a finely packed network of blood vessels that are red, but they're so tightly packed, it gives the impression of being white. The liver not only rules the sight and the physical components of the eye, but also the blood that goes to the eye. So if the liver is congested, or if the liver is stagnant, or if the liver has toxicity, the ensuing eye-looking gaze is going to be somewhat bloodshot. It's going to have different little red lines running through the white of the eye, indicating that the liver itself is a little bit tired or congested. We're going to work with some exercises for the lens of the eyes, the rods and the cones of the eyes, the eye muscles themselves. And the third aspect of today's practice of what we'll be doing is the healing sound. Each of the organs vibrates at a certain frequency, and the sound current creates that vibration. When we do the healing sound, the sound is shoo, just like the shoes you wear on your feet. The shoo sound in the wood liver element is to where the sh aspect of the sound shoo is to where it's dredging any sort of congestion, stagnation, any toxicity that may be in the organ. And the ooh, the sh, ooh, is actually vibrating in the liver itself to help heal the liver through vibration. The last part of the healing sound is just the wind blowing through, so it sounds like shoo. So what we'll do is I'll demonstrate all three of these together so it's a kind of cohesive practice.